Hey, Kirk McDowell here with Contribution Selling. Thanks for being here. Today I'm answering the question, what is sales training program, right? What is a sales training program? So, in the most simplest form, a sales training program is a program to train you to be a successful salesperson. Okay, that's probably not the answer. You're probably hoping for more than that, and I'm certainly going to deliver. I'm someone who's been in and out of professional sales for 30 years plus, since the 80s. That's a long time probably for you. Anyway, I was in copier sales in New Orleans, Louisiana in the 80s, and then had a whole career. So the reason I mention that is because I have been in a lot of sales training. Right. I'm also a professional sales trainer. So for many years I was the salesperson learning how to sell, and then after that, sort of kind of upgrading my game to sort of mastery, and then I have led sales teams, and that was a little bit of a journey, and so forth and so on. So now I'm a CEO of Earthwaking University, which is sort of a transformational educational organization where we believe what we're here to do is wake ourselves up and wake up the world, right? So it's been an interesting journey, and I'm still in the sales environment in that we offer programs and courses and that sort of thing. So I'm still very much in it, and I train people currently to be coaches and public speakers and the types of leaders that are transformational in nature, not like public speaking, but actually like transformational leading. If you haven't experienced that, it's really beautiful. And so there's an element of sales in that, right? Because we survive, we thrive and survive and make our living by selling things like selling courses and that sort of thing, right? So selling is still very much part of my life, even though I'm not that's not all that I am anymore. But I mention all of that because I have been in sales, many sales training programs in person, like being flown to a city somewhere and there's a conference full of room full of other salespeople and a sales trainer and slides and videos and worksheets, and I've done that multiple times with corporations and of my own volition. I have done tons of sales training via cassettes. So back in the day, before the internet, I know you've probably heard of this time. So I was there. It was real. It happened. Training was a very different proposition, right? You had to purchase cassettes generally, right? And you would get an album of like 12 cassettes, and each one would be like 45 minutes on either side. And that was the training program. I was in copier sales at the time, so I drive around the city, and for 2 or 3 years, all I had in my car at any one time in my cassette player, maybe I should put a picture up there, was sales training, right, from all the big people at the time: Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Dennis Waitley. It's not exactly sales, but Roger something, negotiating training. Anyway, great stuff, which really helped me get started, right? But so anyway, like lots of different trainers, lots of different courses on cassette, online, and now I literally design courses and so forth. So I'm just saying all that to just give you the experience that I may not know everything there is to know about selling, but I'm deeply grounded in a sort of a multi-universe with regard to selling. Selling to different types of people, selling different types of products and services, selling in different environments, selling myself to another, selling myself to a group, training people to sell, so forth and so on, right? So it's that experience that's speaking right now. So my experience about most sales training is it's ever more subtle forms of manipulation, right? So you may have experienced this, right? With all good intentions, you go try to purchase something or get information about something you'd like to purchase or service or something, and you leave like angry, frustrated, disrespected, unsatisfied. You probably had that experience, right? Well, so have most people, right? And most people, when they think about engaging with a salesperson, that is not the highlight of their day. Like they're not looking forward to that for most people. And most people have an opinion about salespeople that they will lie to you. And by the way, that opinion is born as well is well earned, right? By the way, in my previous life, like at the beginning of my career, scruples and morals weren't really my main jam. Now that completely transformed about 1997 when I did a transformational course. But until that time, I was just like everybody else, just trying to get mine, do the best I could, get myself trained to be the most effective salesperson I could. And I absolutely was one of those people pretending to have your best interest at heart while, being charming and skilled and, training myself as an orator to get you to believe something and get you to do something. Sign the document and hand over the check, right? So that's an old paradigm. I think we can all find ourselves in that from time to time, right? When we're under stress, when we really need something, when we're attached to something, when something's got to go our way this time, it's tempting to bend the truth a little bit or infer something or whatever, right? So lest you be overly judgmental of my past, just shine the mirror back in your own face a little bit, take another look, right? It's all good, it's all beautiful, right? This is an opportunity to create something else. So my experience of sales training has mostly been as highly manipulative. And even worse, as time goes on, people get more subtle and a little trickier about how to make sales training manipulative. And it doesn't seem like it, right? So I'm not for that. I actually have a visceral distaste for that whole approach. And I have something else in mind for you. So the first thing I want you to get is something about the way the human brain is made up. And this absolutely affects people's capacity and desire to make decisions. So this is, if you're a professional salesperson or if you'd like to be, this is important. Tune in here. Like, this is the part you want to hear, okay? So it has to do with how the brain is designed. So I'm going to speak in real simple layman's terms. I don't mean you disrespect by it, but I just want to get the general concept communicated in a way that almost anybody can understand it, right? So if your understanding of this is more deep, then I'm speaking. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So here we go. So there's three aspects of the brain. There's the reptilian brain, the mammalian brain, and the Homo sapien brain, or the reptilian brain and the emotional brain and the cognitive brain, right? The second two, emotional, mammalian, Homo sapien, cognitive. And then down at the bottom is this reptilian brain. It's the first brain, right? And so what happens is when a human being experiences threats, okay, real or perceived makes no difference, right? So if you see somebody experiencing a threat and you go tell them, hey, that's not real, makes no difference, right? So you just really want to get, it's not logic-based. It's not reality-based. So if another person experiences threat, real or imagined, there's a process that happens in the brain that's not controllable, right? Or not easily. We'll see how much time we have. But anyway, so you're going to run into this all the time, right? You're going to walk in, salesperson, threat. 1 + 1 = 2, right? Just take it on, right? Just try it on for a minute. And so what happens is you're trying to engage someone in a conversation, right? To make a difference with them. Like you have a service or a product that will alleviate some pain or problem for them, and you're trying to open up a conversation to get something going and see if they have an interest in what you have to offer, and if what you have to offer is really a solution, and if you guys can work it out, right? So, but that person is hijacked. That's what I call it. When the mammalian brain, when a human being experiences threat, the reptilian brain kicks into action, the amygdala kicks into action, shuts off the mammalian emotional process brain, and shuts off the cognitive Homo sapien brain. And what you have is a human being that's in a highly reactive state, that is having great difficulty processing their emotions and having great difficulty thinking. And that's what you're talking to. But wait, it gets worse, right? Because you walk in and then you have the experience of this person dealing with a threat and they're being sort of adversarial or resistant. And all of a sudden you might have the experience like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Boom, you're hijacked. So not only are they hijacked and having great difficulty processing their feelings and thoughts in the space of threat, you are a human being who's hijacked, who's having great difficulty processing emotion and thinking. And there you go, and you're trying to make a sale. Doesn't work, okay? The solution is you have to create a way to be safe and credible, be the real deal immediately as soon as you show up. You have to create a space, a vibe, an appearance, an approach, a presentation that has you be safe and credible and be the real deal, right? So I'd love to assist you with that, right? It's a specialty of mine. And so you want to create a vibe where you're the real deal and you're there to discuss business and you're there to make a difference for somebody, but you're safe and credible and you're the real deal, such that people have the experience of, oh my gosh, I'm in the presence of the real deal. This person is safe. They actually care about me. They're professional, like they're credible. And now I can open up and discuss what's going on with me so I can get a resolution, so I can get a problem. Like I can get a solution to my problem. Like I can have a difference made with me, right? I can alleviate this pain, right? But the safety and the credibility has to come first. And you have to be really good at that. You have to be masterful at putting people at ease. And by the way, it's not a manipulation. Before you create being the real deal with someone and being safe and credible, you have to be the real deal and be safe and be credible. And that's the work that there is to do. Okay, so Kirk McDowell, Contribution Selling. I've got some free training for you. It's at contributionselling.com. I'll put the URL in the description. Thanks so much for your time. I hope this was valuable for you. Happy selling.